Hello there, YouTube. This is Tycoon Steve back for another one of our Let's Play. Just starting out here, looking at our beautiful new horse exhibit, making sure everything's going happy. And it does look like it's working great. The horses are happy, the guests are happy. So now we need to turn our attention north to this big empty area here. We got a lot of land to fill in. And I think what I decided to do is I'm going to make a couple little exhibits next, which is very exciting. I actually enjoy making the little exhibits for the smaller animals better. And but before we even get there, there's something else I need to do. Since I started this channel, I've had a couple people who have continually commented and said nice things about my videos and given me thumbs up. So I want to start paying respect to them. So I am going to start right here by putting in a duck pond. This is going to be the Matthew H. Memorial Duck Pond. Matthew H. is one of the commenters on YouTube. He's asked a few times to see if I could throw in a duck pond. Absolutely, Matthew. I'm going to do that for you right now. We're right here across the way from the goats and the horses. So I guess, yet again, we are kind of technically working in farmland. But here we go. We're just going to do this real quick, real simple. So I'm going to widen out the river there like I did to make a pond. And I'm just going to grab this low fence. This black border fence is actually used if you get Ruben and Sophie's aviary pack. It's kind of just basically a black border that you can put around things. So it doesn't really look like a fence. It looks more like the side of a pathway almost. But it has the virtue that there's absolutely no animals that can get around it. Despite what it looks like, they can't jump it, they can't dig under it. So I'm going to use it here because I plan on just sort of disguising the exhibit. Partially because the part of the fence is going to be underwater, obviously. And the rest I'm going to kind of cover up here in a way I'll show you in a second. And then I'm going to replace that. So I want this in the middle. So let me, yeah, that's not exactly in the middle, not quite even, so I'll extend this just a little bit. Get rid of that, and I'll find that back fence again. But I'm going to use the zoo wall fence as the gate area because it has kind of a fancy looking gate when you put it in, so I'll show you that in a second. Here is the low fence again, and we just need to make it go one further that way and then down like that. Yeah, now it's going to be in, so perfect, great, okay. And so we'll zip back here to the left and we'll change this into our gate, and you see it's kind of a fancy looking gate. That's all I wanted that for, but I think it's going to pay off here in the end. Now, of course, ducks do go on land here, so let's go ahead and put some land here for our ducks to sit in. And now we got to take care of the part of the black fence that we put onto the land. So let's go ahead and grab this. A lot of times you'll see guests, or a lot of times you'll see people who do tycoons lay down that fence and then use one of the stones or rocks. Which is a really good idea. It makes the exhibit look nice. I don't want our ducks hemmed in by rocks, though. So I am, if I can find them. You know, I need to kind of make it a policy to sort of figure out what plants I'm going to use before. Oh, no, never mind. Here they are. Some roses. We're going to make this just a nice little, sort of a rose garden here. So let's see. It's pink, yellow, red. And I'm going to try to kind of repeat that pattern. It is randomly generated what variant comes out. But, oh, well, it's lining up now. Maybe it's not that random. Maybe it goes in order. Oh, well, we'll find out here in a second. Pink, yellow. Is it always pink, yellow, red? No, okay, there. It made another yellow that time, so... shoot. Well, anyway, I'll just try to keep them in order. I guess I can get really persnickety if I want to do and, like, make them all the same color, but I'm not going to find it that much. And just down far enough to cover up the black border there. So it kind of goes yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, red, yellow. Okay, so red, and that's the red, yellow, put that at the end. Another red, another red, another red. Oh, come on, there we go, pink. And yellow. Now it's cooperating. Now we're talking. And of course, while I'm doing this, if you have a exhibit the type that you want to see in the zoo, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. I do read the comments. Usually I'll even respond if I, happen to look at them. I'm not the best at that, and I do apologize. But like I said, Matt has requested this a few times, and I don't want to disappoint, and certainly we've got the room for it, so let's just find... I got a couple different species of ducks, but of course none of them are popping up now, but they should be... I think the ring teal... Yeah, here we are. The green, that's one, I'm not going to use the American Adventure one. American Adventure Pack, you can just search American Adventures if I don't have a link in the description. If I remember, I'll put one in the description box. But American Adventure Pack is a really good pack. With I forget the guy who did it. All props to him. But if I have a choice between an American Adventures one and one that was made by, say, Snow Leo, I use the Snow Leo ones because his aren't entirely perfected yet. Sometimes they have little tweaks to them or little steps. Not that I'm saying that his version of the ringtail ducks are wrong. Just that if I have the choice, like I know I have two different versions of American alligators, and I tend to avoid the American Adventures Pack version for that. So let's just do some... I think these don't have realistic skin. No, they don't. Okay. So the type of log I'm looking for, of course, did not default to the ducks recommended. So let me just scroll through here and grab it. I actually really like... Here, there's this piece of driftwood here. This is from the American Adventures Pack, and I absolutely love it. I think it looks great. I probably use it too much in my zoos, but we're going to use it here. And I'm going to get rid of that log, because that log doesn't really match up. Yeah, medium rock, something like that. Just to kind of balance out that exhibit, since I put the food log and the driftwood on the other side. Just as a little aesthetic thing. And then behind those rose bushes, we're just going to put in our traditional backgrounds: royal ferns, Russian thistles, English oaks. I'm sure if you've been watching my Let's Play, you've heard me say that a couple times, but yeah. Still really, really like that. And we'll leave here a gap in between so any of our zookeepers can actually walk into that gate. Go around. And yeah, I think this is going to be good. I'll need to check this from the other side of the river, like if you're walking near the Nile crocodile exhibit, I'll need to make sure it looks fine from there, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be great. Just plop these boys down. And our English oaks. No, I went one down the corner there. No, well, I'm not going to change the land. Maybe I will, but I'll do that off camera. That's just kind of a persnickety thing, but so I'll let it go for the moment, at least. And now in the exhibit, I'm not going to put the ferns. Okay, so we'll go ahead and now decorate our... I guess I called it a duck pond. It's really a duck-thick area of the river, but, you know, it works. Whatever floats our boat. And, oh, you know what I can do here to make it even a little fancier? Particularly since my guests were complaining earlier that I didn't have enough entertaining things. I can put in some fountains for them to see, and I'll sink them inside the duck exhibit. Something that I really like to do. Like, I was really pleased last time when I just kind of stumbled upon that farmhouse idea of putting it inside the horse exhibit. I like putting sort of these blatantly artificial man-made things in exhibits too. Well, once the splashing's done here, we get a clear look. It doesn't look too bad. Oh, I need to go grab some of that bamboo, just to kind of shield off that area. So let's go over here, and I think it's quicker for me to jump over here and do a select it and copy than it would be for me to scroll through. As you notice, I don't know exactly where everything is in the catalog, so sometimes it takes me a while to find the objects I'm looking for. I don't know if you've picked that one up yet. But yeah, I'll admit it, I know, it's shocking. And again, we'll just leave that sort of one path open so our zookeepers can get in and out. And I also noticed that the grass I put down for their food is a little exposed, a little sticking out, so let me find some underbrush to cover that. I'm kind of pausing here. Yeah, you know what I can do? That grass that I used earlier, I used it way back in episode 1, but I do really like that, and so I'm going to go ahead and use that kind of to cover up the grass there, and I'm also going to line the roses with it, since the roses tend to be a little thin looking underneath. I like the roses a lot, but this helps a little, I think, just putting some very low ground covers to it, or in this case, just the grass. And we'll put a zookeeper in here to take care of our ducks. Yeah, okay, that worked fine. He's connected. And so now we'll just slap the animals in, and we will officially be able to dedicate the Matthew H. Memorial Duck Pond. Here at the... Oh, you know what? I just realized our zoo doesn't even have a name. So if you want to name the zoo, I will take suggestions in the comments. And I'll make some kind of special plaque or entryway, or at least put the name on the archway outside the zoo. So let me know what you think. It doesn't really have a theme yet. Maybe you can think of one. 6 ducks enough? Yeah, I think 6 is enough. And even though that there's a, large amount of water in that exhibit for them, I'm going to put a little one back there, little water dish just for them. And let's unpause the game and switch into guest mode here so we can walk around and take a peek at it. So let's say I'm tired of looking at the goats and the horses and I look the other way. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll probably... Yeah, if I do anything off camera, I'll let you know. If I do anything, it's probably just going to be to add a few more ducks just to make sure there's always some swimming around. But yeah, you can see them pretty clearly here from on top of the bridge, and that looks... Yeah, that looks really good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. But anyway, we've done that, so let's move on to those small little exhibits I was talking earlier. We're going to do today what is probably my favorite animal. Let's clear out the room here. And we'll get down a path going to it. I was looking at the zoo earlier. The paths, one complaint I have is the paths are looking a little too straight. So I'm going to make this more of a zigzag path almost. And I'll have the paths kind of zigging in the act of the next few displays that we do, since there are going to be smaller displays, I think. Is the sand path correct? I think I switched to the sand path just for the farm area. I forget, it's been so long, I forget what our original path was. It was the brick path, okay. So we will go ahead and grab the stone path here. And so instead of just, going straight ahead, we'll go 1 or 2 ahead, and we'll curve downwards like this. And then we'll have it curve back north, too. Do-do-do. Just go ahead. And 1 more just to make sure it goes there. Okay. But I'm not going to finish that path right now because I'm not exactly sure what our exhibit's going to look like. I've got an idea, but I haven't usually if I actually write down beforehand. I've got a pad and paper, and I kind of sketch out the basic outline of the exhibit just so I have an idea in my head what I know I'm doing. This time I don't, but I don't think it'll be a problem. What's the odds I'm gonna mess up? I mean, If I do, I'm the one that controls the editing, I'll just delete it. So it's going to look perfect because, you know, I have that power. But raccoons. Raccoons are going to be our exhibit, and I did mention that they are my favorite animal. Just because I'm convinced that the day that humanity dies, the raccoons will inherit the earth. They're just really, basically I had to do a project on them in high school, and I've been very impressed with them ever since. So, they're incredibly smart, and they're about the only animal where, like, when humans move into the area and deforest it and pave over everything, all the rest of the critters of the forest have to scramble away. Raccoons just kind of move in and make their lives even better by mooching off the humans, and so I'm convinced that they're the ones that inherit the earth after whatever happens to us. But let's start working on the display for our eventual conquerors and overlords, the raccoons. Okay, something like that, and then I want a higher fence for here. And I'm going to kind of make a little, well, almost a circle, not that wide. Not quite a circle, though, because, you know, you can't have, yeah, like this. Yeah, okay. And I want the higher fence here, because raccoons actually do quite a bit of climbing. If you experience a raccoon, there's a good chance the experience you had was them going through your attic, because they do like to find high places. It's sort of one of the weird things in Zoo Tycoon. Well, I guess they're not Zoo Tycoon content, but for some reason most of their houses are on the ground. I guess they do have that elevated house I see there, but I'm using this carnivore fence. It's part of Snow Leo's carnivore pack. If you've seen my Red Fox exhibit, I did something very similar to what I'm doing here. And that's sort of like turning it into a little home for them by just putting a fence around it, and then I'm going to have a little gateway out. Now there is a trick to using this particular fence, or this particular animal shelter, and that is you also have to make it, the animals can't just walk right into it, you have to put these little steps here for them. So there's a low step, which I'll put right here, and there's a high step, which I'll put there, and as long as you have a low step and a high step, both the animals, any animal, and the trainers can get into or out of it. So, if you are planning on using the carnivore cage, make sure you include the steps, otherwise you can run into some issues. And so now, I mentioned that we were going to, I put those higher fences in, so, because the animals can climb, or raccoons prefer to climb, so I'm going to go ahead and put stuff for them to climb on. Now, unfortunately, these are just statues, so they make the exhibit look really nice, but the animals can't interact with them. But I'm still going to take the time to put them in. Okay, you gotta have to be kind of careful with these ones, because if you place them, they can look right by the one angle, but then be absolutely wrong. If you're using them, I suggest you like put them like right there, where you can see it kind of halfway into that wood. And if it's being like halfway absorbed, then you know for a fact that it's going to look good. So let me grab the lookout post. Can I put it this way so they're? I don't think there's enough room because that arrow's on the outside, so I'll put it the other way. So unfortunately, guests are going to have to look at raccoon tails instead of raccoon faces if they go up on the lookout post. So we'll put that there, and just situate it like that so it looks like the rope is going into it. You know, I'm not in love with that rope, actually. I like this one better. If no real reason, it's got those like metal hooks at the end, you can kind of see. I think that looks a little more realistic. Like, I can make it so that hook is like halfway into the wood. Like that, and then set it down. So lookout post, and I of course grabbed the rope that was too high for the lookout post, so I got the metal rings I wanted, but not the right size. There we go, that's metal rings, and it's low enough to the ground I can hook it up to the post. Okay, well, gotta get it facing the right angle. Yeah, like that, I think. Yes. Okay, third time's a charm. There we go. And guess what? Let me switch this lookout post around. And now, finally, I think we're getting where we want to go. Alright, there. Yes, okay. And I do like to include the lookout posts, because like I said, since these are just statues, the raccoons aren't going to be able to climb on the ropes, but if I put the lookout post there, they can at least climb on some of the objects, so it does look like they're interacting more. So I think that's a good sort of mix. And I'll put this other one here, like it's coming off of the animal shelter. Beautiful. And instead of just having it hang in the air, let me go ahead and... No? There it is. Go ahead and grab this wood log. And you can put an actual tree in or anything. I'm just going to go with the wood log that came with the ropes, because it does tend to look like it's the right height. Like it's just slightly higher than where the hook connects. And of course we want to make this the right habitat for them, so I'm just going to make this mostly dirt. Mostly dirt. Of course, we're going to put it in a small pond. Very important for those of you who don't know, raccoons actually wash their food before they eat it. They always live near rivers and everything, so they can literally take their food to a river or pond or whatever, wash the food with their hands, and then eat it. In fact, that's what the word raccoon means. If you translate it, I believe it's originally an Algonquin word that's kind of been changed into English, but it basically, raccoon means he washes his food, or he washes his hands, or something like that. It's been a while since I did the project. But again, so smart, gonna take over the world after we're all gone. And let's put in a couple of these logs on the side here. And these come at different heights. You can see that they're labeled 3, 4, and there's a 1 there somewhere. But the heights. And we'll just kind of put them up almost like they're stairs. Move in here because I can't tell if it was going into or floating or... Right there, I think it's flush there. Okay, that's good. And we grab the 2, which will be the lowest. Or the second lowest. I'm not going to bother to put a 1 on. There you go. And let's unpause that and take a look here at ground level. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Start moving things around. I'll grab a hollow log here. Apples. Maybe I use hollow logs too much. I do tend to put them in a lot of exhibits. But I think they just look the best of all the feeding things. Oh, another great thing I should mention about the Snow Leo equipment is that even though it is a shelter, you can put food inside of it. Like right here, I'm going to lay the substrate pile with bananas. They're right up top there. And they can go inside the exhibit and eat that. And oh, you know what? Instead of, I mentioned I was doing this too much. Let's get rid of that log. Get rid of the fence in a second so I can delete it. Get rid of that log, and I notice that it looks like the raccoon can actually interact with the elevated dishes. So let's put a water dish, like right here. So that way there is a way they'll climb up and you can see their faces while they're climbing. And we'll do a little adjustment to the ground here. Make it so that there's dirt so they'll be able to climb up, and then I'll extend the pond a little out that way. Very cool. Very, very cool. And since we got another hanging object, let's put another rope down for them. We'll hang it off of that artificial log, I think. And we'll kind of have to tweak exactly where our elevated water dish is. Yeah, let's move the rope going that way. But I think it's going to be worth the payoff. So you can see right there, really easy, how the ring is kind of half sunk into the base there. And I find it's almost always best. In fact, I would guarantee you it's best that when you're doing this, go ahead and just set the ropes down first and move the other objects to meet the ropes. Otherwise, you'll drive yourself insane. But, look pretty good. It's not poking out, is it? Nope, it's all contained well within the fence. Alright, that makes me very, very happy. Very happy. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. And let's do a little more decorating. Is there? Maybe you can throw down one of these medium rocks. Definitely not the large one, but the medium temperate rocks. That's not terrible. No. No, I like to be able to see the rope climbing in there. Maybe decorate with some play. Oh, you know what? I can grab these ferns I love. I haven't used them enough in this zoo, so let's set a couple down here for our raccoon friends. Maybe keep the area around the water free of plants and just keep them around this home. Yeah, something simple like that. That's sort of my philosophy with exhibits like this. Sort of simpler is better, or at least not the exhibit as a whole, but when you're doing the foliage inside the exhibits. Do I want to put like a little guest viewing area is the question I'm asking myself now. But to have it like just barely off the ground like that. You know, I don't think I do. I don't think, at least with these guys, I don't think I do. I think I'm going to keep it on the ground. But while I have the elevated paths open, let's go ahead and do the roof part of the exhibit. And, okay, we'll just do this. I was thinking, you know, in my last few Let's Plays, whenever I was putting a roof down, I went ahead and cut. I actually think I'm going to stop doing that. It did save time, and those videos, I was sort of working myself up that I had to keep them under half an hour. I'm going to let that go, though. It's just a thing where I'm watching videos like this on YouTube. I don't necessarily like cutting way ahead like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I figure, you know, I only did it because I figured that if you were watching my videos, you had seen me do it a couple of times. But I prefer just to... It's going to just to go ahead and let you watch it all. It gives me more time to do a little talking. I don't think the minute or two I was saving was worth kind of the jolting image of cutting up. So these videos are probably going to be slightly longer, not noticeably, but tough. That's what you get. That's what I'm doing. Plus, it makes it easier for me to edit them. So, you know. That's a bonus to me. It's not really a bonus to you, but tough. Again, it's my time. Okay. Oh, you notice I did the fencing wrong. I just realized here as I'm trying to get everything straight. So let me go ahead and do this. Switch it over to the wood aviary. And now, yeah, I'm getting rid of those. Okay. I might get rid of those other 2 log steps we put in earlier. The reason is I just want to, for the sake of conformity, bring this one in and then bring the fence across here like that. Yeah, so there's no room for the steps. I'm going to get rid of those. That's just a personal thing. If you were making a copy of this and decided you wanted to keep it the other way, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter. I just kind of want the sort of circular higher part where they're climbing to be more unique. Or more well-defined, I guess is how I should put it. So, there we go. So it's almost like this exhibit has 3 sections. It's got the shelter area, it's got the low area, which is just kind of a walk around leafy, grassy, or at least it's got some ferns and it's got some, yeah, it's got some grass on the ground. I guess technically that's what the texture is rendering. And then it's got this higher dirt area where they can climb around and have fun and do their raccoon things. Because after all, we have to appease them before they take over the world and become our Raccoonian overlords. So, yep, okay. See, that's the kind of thrilling comments you would have missed if I had cut out doing the top of the roof here. Alright, so just do this. Now I mentioned, I think I mentioned, maybe I didn't, this video is going long, so I'll try to wrap it up, but I'm thinking that in addition to this small exhibit, my next few Let's Plays are going to be me making some more of these small exhibits in this little area and kind of make a little path that lets you walk through it. It's almost as if I'm doing like a little, well, I don't know what theme raccoons would be in, but a little, I was going to say forest animal, but that's not quite right. But, you know, there's going to be, I think, I'd say 5 or 6 displays by the time I'm done. Nothing big, smaller animals. But smaller animals need love too. And certainly I love the raccoons. In fact, if this is going to be its own area, I'm actually going to even change up the border fence. And I think I'll change up the pathway too. I think I'll use the dirt path. Okay. Yeah, I'll use the dirt path here for that. And I'm kind of liking the idea of making that central area a little fatter even more, because it is forcing me to sort of zigzag the path, which was, I mentioned, something I wanted to do anyway, because our paths were getting a little too straight. So that is excellent. Alright, so I'm just going to finish up this path, and that'll pretty much have us done for the day. So I guess your mission in the future, smaller animals. What smaller animals do you want to see? If it exists in Zoo Tycoon, I will go out and find it. If I don't have it, I will try to put it in. Certainly, I'm trying to think how I want this path and encourage you to comment and give me your suggestions in the future at the same time. So I'm probably, yeah, I messed up the path a little bit, and I'm not really doing a great job of asking you to let me know what you want. But I hope you get the idea. You know, there is one other thing that we're probably going to need to do. We're probably going to need to actually put the raccoons in the exhibit. That's something I realized we had just skipped over. So let me finish up this pathway. We'll add a zookeeper and some raccoons to the area. Then we'll call it a day. And then you can, you know, stop the video, tell me what kinds of animals you want to see in the future and all that. I think that's a better plan. You can tell I'm still getting nervous about the time, because, yeah, we've broken the half-hour mark, but we should keep it under 40 minutes, I would assume. So I apologize if it's a little longer, but that's just how I'm going to roll. So let's drop in a new zookeeper here. This is Keeper Walter. Hey, I can actually pronounce that name. Very cool. Keeper Walter, who is the Raccoon Wrangler. And we'll put in a couple raccoons. Raccoons are actually a social species. They do meet into groups of like 5 to 6 of them. So we're going to put more than one raccoon. And certainly that exhibit is large enough to handle that. And make a teeny tiny one raccoon exhibit. So let's grab a few. And just to limit fighting, I'm going to go ahead and do... Well, I'm thinking, how... You know what, that's fine. Do 2 females and 1 male, that's fine. Yeah, 2 females, 1 male, that'll make us happy. And I just realized here, the reason I paused there was because I realized I had failed to fill in this little gap here. There's no fence where the size changes. So, we'll be delayed just another second while I fix that. And I believe that was a gap of 2. Yeah, because it's 3 height for the lower area, and it's a 5 height for the higher area. So 2 fills it in nice. Very cool. And then I'll just use the old floating roof trick, or floating rail trick here. Undo. Redo, and it stays. Wonderful. Okay. Yes? Yes, okay, okay. So, let's just do a quick walk through here and make sure the Matthew H. Memorial Duck Pond and our raccoon display are looking great from the guest's point of view. Switch over here and clear our bridge into farmland. Farmland where everything's wonderful, and if you take a break from the smell of pig manure, you can see some ducks waddling in the background. They're kind of back in the background here. Yeah, I'll probably put in more ducks just so they're encouraged to be more interested in the water. But that came out well. I'm glad Matt suggested it. I'm glad it came out well, and I hope it was everything he was asking for. I probably failed him miserably. It's probably no good, but no, that's how I do duck ponds. And so we've got our nice curvy path here, which I might play with a little bit yet. And so this will eventually be the entrance to our new, whatever we're going to call this area exhibit. And you see the raccoon made it inside the shelter there. And there's two hanging out by their pond. Okay, one of them... Okay, nope, that's a goat. Goat's having a problem. I just got a red message saying that one of my animals is having a problem getting to a food thing. But that's it for this exhibit. These two exhibits, I hope you enjoyed it. Let's take a good overview of our zoo real quick. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to do in the zoo in the future. Have a great day.